Good morning and welcome to a full day of eating around my first long ride post-injury. Okay, first up for the day is 2 bagel thins with 2 bananas and some honey on each. A very almost overflowing black coffee with what I know the comments are already going to say is a disappointing crema. Apparently that's the thing that people really are quite passionate about. And then I have some ESN all-in-one formula and 5 grams of creatine. So I will always hydrate before I caffeinate, so to speak. Hydrate, caffeinate, masticate. Anyway, as we go, data will be on the screen in terms of calories and macros as each meal is presented to you on screen and then accumulates throughout the day. I'll give you a little bit more insight as to how I'm currently eating and why I'm currently eating as we go. But I'm going to get this consumed and then I'm going to head to the office to grab my bike and get to Arthur's Seat to kick off my first long ride post-injury. Round of coffees and some pastries for the boys, and I got past all the natter, which I think we can all agree is delicious, and reminded me of the time recently that I was just sharing with Jacob behind the camera of when I had my first hangover of 2025 in June the 9th after a stag do in Portugal. And because everybody's flight was earlier than mine, because they were heading back to London and I was heading back to Edinburgh, I got up and down 4 times for 4 separate pastel de natters within the 4 hours that I was early for my flight. So I like them. And I enjoyed that one. So had that and a latte, calories, macros on the screen for you just now. And we are gonna head back into a headwind towards Edinburgh. Been a really, really chill ride so far. Heart rate for me has been sitting around sort of 115. So it's just been nice to be outdoors on a beautiful morning. A little bit of a tailwind so I can just sit comfortably. There is a triathlon going on in Gullen, which is the next town down that way. So there might be some beautiful B-roll of that. There might be some chaos. There might be some diversions. There might actually be no more footage because the car gets separated from the bikes. We're all about to find out. As is tradition on any Edinburgh bike ride, a lap or several of Arthur's Seat. I was here for my first bike ride back post-injury on Tuesday and had a wonderful time. So let's see how it feels now with 70 kilometers on my legs. Probably not good. Hello, I'd like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. 75 kilometres bang on, done, which was very enjoyable and actually caned it back a little bit into a headwind and finished off with a lap of Arthur's Seat, which is always pleasant, but nobody cares about what I'm doing. Let's hear what others are doing. So I'm currently training for an undisclosed challenge, which is incredibly boring and a massive cop-out given what I'm about to ask, but what are you currently training for?
I'm currently training for Barcelona Ironman. I'm doing the full distance with my good friend Griff here.
So yeah, first Ironman, hopefully just get a finish, and then yeah, we'll see how it kind of goes.
I'm actually training for an undisclosed event. It's quite boring actually, so no, I'm just training to get my squat and deadlift back into 200s and keep pushing my endurance volume as well and stop being a bit of a, I won't say it, but CrossFit wank. So there you go.
On day 2 of the CrossFit Games as well. Pig, what do you think? Insightful as always. Anyway, I'll see you back at the office. Plot twist, we're not actually back at the office, and here we are communicating all over again. What do you think about that, Holly? More valuable insights. Anyway, I had 2 of these whilst I was out on the ride, but, you know, filming yourself consuming a gel whilst requiring hands to be on the bike and all that stuff made it difficult. So calories, macros, totals on the screen now. I will in fact now see you at the office. Goodbye. Okay, so I've already put the data from that ride on the screen, but here it is on screen for you again, as I thoroughly enjoyed that for several reasons. First of all, beautiful day, and whilst I have been doing some big rides on the turbo, it doesn't compare to being able to blast around the coast with friends. It's been quite a while since I've done that. I think long ride wise, the last decently long one that I've done out on the bike was, I mean, it was actually several years ago at this point, because after the double brutal in 2022, took a bit of a break from triathlon, been largely running focused since then. So whilst I've been using the turbo, doing some short rides just because I enjoy it, I haven't been doing the long Saturday morning, definitely not group rides, and yeah, just a really nice experience, to be honest. Weather was great. Zone 1 with a bit of a tailwind out for the most part, and then zone 2 dipping into zone 3 when I sent it a little bit after some red lights on the way back. So 75 kilometers, varied pacing, but very much in the easy category. Good to meet some of the new lads that came along. A few of them have been to the run clubs out of here before, which is great, but some new faces, so hope that they all had a good time too. And yeah, I'm genuinely just really excited to be out on the bike again. I am looking forward to building up some mileage on this one, and then getting out on the tri-bike, putting the disc wheel back on and looking obnoxious, ridiculous, and very disproportionate to a typical triathlete's body shape out on a bike that is far too expensive for my ability. But because you've hit subscribe and you're here for the journey, you're going to see exactly what that looks like in a few weeks' time. I'm going to get showered here just because I always find I get very spotty and horrible if I don't shower as soon as I can after long exercise, or any exercise at all, in fact, and then get back to the house for some more food. I am a liar. I didn't in fact shower at the office because I travelled in bib shorts, and the thought of getting out of sweaty, dirty, chamois cream covered bib shorts to shower and then get back into them was less palatable than the smoothie I'm about to make is going to be. So I'm going to have this just so I get some food on board and sort of kickstart the recovery process and feel like I've got some nutrient density in me for the first time at all, really, today. And then I'm going to shower and have my actual lunch. Just for clarity, this is for Erin and I. I'm not just having the world's largest smoothie in the world ever, of all time, globally. Oh. Oh wow. Actually, like, so thick it's holding over the top. Like a pint of Guinness. Might be better than a pint of Guinness. Data on the screen for you just here. Honest opinion?
I like it.
It's the best movie you've ever had in your life.
It's the best movie I've ever had in my life.
Tuna wraps have been a bit of a staple for me for many years now, and what I've very strategically done this time is I've sat here and let them cool down for about 5 minutes rather than doing what I normally do, which is bite into them immediately, lose my taste buds, and then I may as well be eating kibble for dogs in a tortilla. So let's hope that doesn't happen now. It's a suitable temperature, which is good news. For us all, in fact. Very good. Pretty reliable snack, high protein, easy. And again, another example of how incredibly versatile and useful an air fryer is. Erin convinced me that we should have pizza, and I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't a hard sell. So it's been a tradition for a very long time that after my long bike rides, after my long runs, after my long days out in the hills, there was a period from about 2018 to 2022 where I didn't go a single weekend without having a Saturday evening pizza post LIS Zone 2 Saturday session. So given that I'm back out on the bike and re-engaging with such activities, let's embrace tradition, eh? Calories, macros on the screen just here. And once I finish this, I'm probably actually gonna have an early night because I'm really tired. But what I will then do is sit down and talk you through how I'm approaching nutrition as my volume ramps up and what things I'm focusing on specifically, as well as a few other key details. For anyone in the UK, Erin and I have discovered recently that we are firmly of the opinion that Pizza Express, whilst being a sort of, if you grew up as a 90s kid, classic for birthday parties, has recently been slept on because I've been enjoying it. Okay, brand new sleep supplement from ESN that I literally collected from the office this morning to try for the first time. So it is currently tried, but not tested for me personally. So I will report back over the next couple of weeks how I'm getting on. If there's any perceptible increase in quality of sleep, any tangible data with Root that I can report on, but some really quality ingredients in here which I'm keen to see how I get on with. So, with that in mind, obviously hit subscribe so you can see the results of my findings, so to speak, but I am going to go to bed. It's just gone 10 PM, a little bit later than I was hoping for, but we chose to watch the new, relatively speaking, Avatar, relatively speaking to when the first one came out, which was like 312 years ago, and that is an enormously long film, so it is a bit later than I was hoping for, but I'm going to go to bed and we'll pick things up tomorrow or in a couple of days' time to debrief today and deep dive a little bit more on some of the key considerations with my nutrition as a hybrid athlete, especially given as my volume returns to triathlon and continues to ramp up. Good night. As I've been recovering from injury in this hip, I've generally been eating around maintenance for the most part, which has felt great as I haven't had to deal with too much intensity on the bike or in the pool. However, once I'm recovered, so to speak, I'll probably drop down to a 5 to 10% calorie deficit to slowly work towards becoming as functionally light and lean as I can be for my goals in 2026. Once I start to layer in more intensity rather than just having a bit of a focus on volume, I'll pay very close attention to how I'm responding, how I'm feeling, how I'm recovering, how I'm sleeping, all of these sort of tangible factors that can help inform how I'm balancing fat loss, adaptation and performance simultaneously, because that is a tough balance to get right and you're kind of towing the line most of the time that you're doing it. But it is possible. My strength training will be pulled back to mostly maintenance, as I'll do what I can to hold on to as much strength and muscle mass as possible, whilst consciously dropping below 90 kilos or 200 pounds for the first time since 2015. In honesty, in phases like I'm in currently, I just focus on nailing the basics as best as I can, rather than worrying too much about the finer, more granular details. Today's video has been a pretty fair example of what a weekend training day food intake would look for me in a phase like this. But once my training becomes more targeted, as will my nutrition. If you're looking to audit your nutrition, then you can get access to a strength and endurance specific calorie calculator and a free consultation with our in-house performance nutritionist Tom McClaw via the link in the description down below. And do please let me know how you get on in the comments as well. Whilst you're in the region, if you would be so kind as to like the video, comment with your thoughts, feelings, insights, nutrition, hacks, tricks, etc. Whatever you want to share, drop it down below. Hit subscribe and ding that little bell icon whilst you are in the region as well, as that would be very kind and you won't miss any future content. And you can see what happens as I start to embark upon becoming as functionally light and lean as I can for my goals in 2026, which I will be announcing very soon. Cryptic, vague, and mysterious. And that is where things end for today. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.